numerous hours to join me in expressing our sincere gratitude to the men and women who fulfill their civic responsibilities as jurors and help protect the integrity of our legal system. In witness hereof, I hereinto set my hand and cause the seal of the County of Maverick to be affixed this first day of May 2025. Mr. Viela, thank you so much, and thank you to all of the jurors that participated in this. Let's give them a hand. And the staff, I don't know, maybe y'all want to come around this side and we'll get a photo with
Sure.
everyone.
Thank you. Right back here.
Right here. Perfect. Thank you. And I don't know,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Yerma, if you care to share some thoughts on this recognition.
Thank you for the opportunity, Judge. Basically, the state of Texas has a Jury Appreciation Week here in Maverick County. We kindly asked Judge Cantu if he could possibly give us a proclamation for Jury Appreciation Month. We have several cases that we're going to be having today, and we want to, outside of their nominal jury fee that they get, we have some goodies that we'll be establishing at every event. We do want to thank them. We can seriously not do our judicial work with the 365th, 293rd, and county court without the help of our jurors. So we appreciate them responding to all the jury summons. Any questions, my office, my staff is always available to answer any questions. And we want to thank Commissioner Sport and all our commissioners for supporting us and letting know that the residents are that we are grateful to the residents that do respond to their jury summons. So thank you again for these few minutes and for this proclamation. We're going to proudly put it in our hallway up in our office and share that with everybody that comes in.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Judge, do you have some phone calls?
Yes,
Or
your excuse. Yes, for sure. Thank you. we'll go ahead and move forward with the citizens' communications on this matter. Now we'll move forward, and I remind, of course, those citizens that have signed up with their speaker registration forms, you have approximately 3 minutes in order for us to go ahead and have that opportunity to address the court. I remind, of course, those residents that if you are addressing the court, to specifically provide the line item. If there is not a line item, just to express your comments. This time, Mr. Jesse F. Fuentes. Mr. Fuentes, do you care to approach the podium, please?
Before we do the 3 minutes, Honorable Judge, when I testified in Austin, I asked the committee chair if I could wear my hat. Can I wear my hat?
If you're known for it, sir,
Yeah,
I'll make one exception for you, sir.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you. Honorable Judge, distinguished commissioners, I'm here on behalf, my name is Jesse F. Fuentes. I'm here on behalf of the Eagle Passport Coalition. And I'm here just to voice concerns, several concerns, because I wanted to be part of the record. The first primary concern is that we're having a special meeting with over 60 items, and a lot of the people that work can't be here. And I was concerned about that because usually a special meeting might take 1 or 2 or 3 items, but this is a full-blown agenda, and I congratulate you for that because it's not easy being able to schedule yourself to address so much content. That was one concern. The next concern that I have is, of course, the Puerto Verde situation. And Puerto Verde, to me, there was a hearing this Wednesday on the 29th, and I called it a flawed report because out of 8 agencies that were supposed to participate in this report, only 1 did. And I'm concerned about that because that's not a true essence of what we need to know. And the other concern that I had about that particular draft environmental impact study is the fact that it states that it's going to, as soon as it's built, it's going to move all rail traffic to that particular location, which to me I think would be something that's detrimental not only to the county and Eagle Pass, because it's going to, I guess, provide the biggest transference of public money to the private sector, to an individual developer. So that's concerning in those many ways. And also, of course, the citizens that live and reside in that particular area of Western Maverick County are concerned. I read the entire report, and they're looking to place a bridge 60 feet above the Rio Grande. To get the type of grade that you need that, they're going to develop these earthen mounds that are 130 feet wide, 19 feet tall, and 132 feet wide on both sides, not just for the railway, but also for the commercial vehicles. And it's going to be the same height over the river. So that's going to move over 1.5 million metric tons of dirt in an area that's not used to that. My concern is, and the residents' concern is, what happened to the feasibility study that was done that designated that the best location for that type of structure?
Mr. Fuentes, I just want to let you know you're at 3 minutes 15. I'll give you 30 more seconds.
30 more seconds? Yeah. This will be my last one. We're concerned about that feasibility study, which the county spent a lot of money on, and it's supposed to be the best viable location for a project of that size should be the location of Highway 277 and then where the new 480 loop would interchange. Basically, we're trying to see if we can convince the commissioners to reconsider, maybe provide an extension, or even possibly rescind the resolution, because that presidential permit was not issued to Puerto Verde. It was issued to Maverick County. And I will end with that. I want you to consider it, please.
Thank you, Mr. Fuentes. I appreciate you being here today. Moving forward, there are no other citizens' communication forms that have been submitted to the court. We'll proceed with consent items that have been provided for the court's consideration. Are there any questions, comments, concerns regarding any of the consent items? I know that there may be just some modifications that we'll need to make to some items for the purposes of clarification, and I'll ask just for the court to provide a consideration for moving item number 4.
Judge.
Item number 19, and items number 24, 26, as well as 20. I'm sorry, give me 1 second here. I just want to make sure that I have the items correctly listed on here. Item number 24, 26, as well as item number 16. If the court is amenable, 4, 16, 19, 24, and 26.
What is, I'm sorry, Judge.
Yes.
What is it you want to do with this item?
There'll be some modifications on the wording that we'll need to make.
Okay. So we're not going to take action on this one?
No. I just asked to place them in regular item, the regular portion of the agenda.
Okay.
I'd asked that they be placed in the regular items.
Okay.
Yeah, is that okay?
It just that the item 24, I'm asking, I'd like to see, this was placed by Commissioner Morales,
Uh-huh.
and I have some questions on this.
Okay.
So since it's not here, well,
Would you like to move it to the next agenda?
yes.
Okay. If you know what, in that case, just out of respect for that one, if we can then just place items 24 and 26 into the next agenda item, since the commissioner is not present, and if there are questions on it. So we'll go ahead and put that on for, I believe, Monday. We'll be having a special meeting. So items number 4, 16, and 19. Just replace those in open session. Is there a motion to approve items 1 through 26 for the exception of 4, 16, 19 that will be taken into regular items, and items 24 and 26 due to potential questions by Commissioner's Court regarding the items, and since the Commissioner is not present, out of respect for the Commissioner, we'll place that on for the next available meeting for him to answer those questions. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Reese. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Ramos. Discussion? Being there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Moving forward to item number 4. If we could just make a clarification, I'll just need to put that on the record for the court. Discussion and appropriate action to ratify the appointment of Viviana Lambin as a non-paid deputy constable in the Office of Constable Precinct 1, effective April 19th. And if that could just list Constable Precinct 1, Cecilia Maldonado, for the clarification of the court. That does have an effective date that is correct, so we would just need to clarify the constable on that matter. Is there a motion to amend the wording on that item? Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Reese. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 16, discussion and appropriate action to install LED lighting at 3156 Delaware Boulevard, 3052 Delaware Boulevard, 3310 Delaware Boulevard, 11744 North US Highway 277, 11796 North Highway 277, and intersection of US Highway 277 and Firefly Lane. Just on this one, Commissioner, these were clarifications just for, these are all on county areas,
Yes.
easements specifically.
Well, the ones on Del Rio Boulevard, yes, they're outside.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure there was clarification on
Yes.
that. Then, is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Clarification's been made. Second has been made by Commissioner Reese. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 19, discussion and appropriate action to ratify appointment of a non-paid deputy constable in Precinct 3C, Juan Francisco Rocha, who has met all prerequisites of the law to become a licensed Texas peace officer. In regards to this matter, that there is a request, of course, for this, just to clarify that this is coming from a ratification at the request of Constable Hernandez, Mario Hernandez, correct? This is 3C, this would be under the new constable?
It's Martinez Enquemado.
Okay,
Let me see. I have his. It's Happy Abraham Martinez.
very well.
Constable Martinez. Yes.
Then just clarification that this would be coming, this would be upon the approval of this item, just because they were requesting an effective date. Today's date? Okay, very well.
Yes. Today's.
So this would be effective, which would be set for May 1st.
Yes, we just need to recognize this, the appointment as per Constable Martinez.
Very well. There has been a request, of course, then to make the modification of the wording on that item. Go ahead and list that as Precinct 3C, Abraham Martinez. Motion has been to modify that to reflect the constable's name on that matter and the ratification of such. The motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Is there a motion to approve the item?
So moved.
Motion has been made to approve the item by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Very well. Just for clarification, on this item, have we, is this a, yeah, go on. Yes, yes,
Just on the non-paid deputy council, we'll receive non-paid
reserve. Do we need to make any further clarification on that?
Number 4.
Not paid reserve.
Number 419.
Number 4 is to approve or just action.
It's specifically, was there specifically on that item? You have the amendment made? Very well. Is there a motion to go ahead and move forward with the approval of item number 4? There was a motion to amend the item, however. We just need to take the action. So a motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos to approve the ratification of the appointment of Ileana Landin as a non-paid deputy constable in the office of Constable Precinct 1, Cecilia Maldonado. Is there a motion? Second. Second has been made by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Do we catch everything, Ms. Irma? Just want to make sure. All right. Then we'll go ahead and move forward into regular items. Regular items, item number 27, discussion and appropriate action to accept grant award from the Texas Department of Agriculture in the amount of $1 million to fund a street improvement project and open a bank account for this project. Yes. Go ahead.
Judge, Commissioners, good afternoon. We're here just to present that we received the funding for the Vanessa Street projects that we applied for through the Texas Department of Agriculture CDBG program. And we just want to be able to accept the grant and the funding and also open up a bank account to have the operational, the finance work.
This project we're working on specifically for this one on the Vanessa project, Middle Rio. For the administration on this, is there specifics on that for
Correct.
Middle Rio as well?
No, it's going to be Maverick County that's handling all the administrative. I just finished the certification test last week. We should be getting into the environmental starting next week.
Very well. Okay.
Congratulations, Ms.
It's a team effort. It's a team effort. Middle Rio Grande was also involved in the very beginning in submitting this application, but we are taking the administration over as Maverick County.
Sounds good.
Very well.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Is there a motion to this effect?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Rios. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Ramos. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Real quick, prior to, 'cause I know that we just need to make sure and make some modifications to the budget amendments, and I know that our treasurer needs to have those amendments put in to the record in order for them to go ahead and get that taken care of. If we can take item number 56, discussion and appropriate action to approve the budget amendments for fiscal year 2025. Those budget amendments have been provided for your review on your in your packets and on the screens for the purposes of the modifications in the budget line items. I know that there's been some requests that have been made specifically for the OLS modifications that need to be done on this matter. So I just wanted to make sure that the court has reviewed this item fully and that we can go ahead and proceed with the business that needs to be taken on for processing all of the accounts for OLS. Mr. Valdez, is there specifics that we have to report on the matter? No. And just for the purposes of the account, what could you just give us? And I just want to get a balance on the county's finances right now for the record.
So we have a general fund. Reconciling the account on March, which is yesterday.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, the last month.
Mhm.
It's 10,700,000.
That is what is currently, of course, within general fund.
And that's
Okay.
without counting deficit reduction, which is 800.
The additional.
189,000.
Okay, so on the purposes, I know that this has been a discussion based on the budget amendments that we needed to make sure that we're fully clarified. I've been reviewing some of this documentation and of course the discussions that we've been looking at back and forth in Sparrientos and discussion also with the OLS coordinator for the purposes on this issue. I have serious concern on what it is and where it is that we're at on the matter, and I think on the discussions that we had held via text yesterday when I was at the board meeting in Uvalde, the discussions that we had was as far as in reference to the matters for what was lagging in the situation for us to get these matters taken care of. And I've gone back and I've looked at a lot of these issues, and I know that there's some possibly some lack of communication between, I don't know if it's an issue of the department heads that are responsible to be submitting all of this over to your all's office, because the emails that I'm reviewing have very clearly stated on there that have come in from Ms. Sarmiento to the staff stating that there are issues that need to be submitted directly to them, to the auditors, in order for us to go ahead and proceed with processing payment. There's been approximately 6 times that those payments have been rejected on different dates, of course, that I have record of. And my concern is that if we're getting these rejections for reimbursements from the state, I don't want to have to see these matters coming before the court and causing a delay for any employee that is causing this issue. So if there is a lack of communication somewhere, I need to be made aware, because I've been doing my research. I've spoken with you. I've spoken with the coordinator for OLS, specifically for the individual that's handling the emails. I think, it's like I said, everything when it's black and white, that's when you know what's being said. And I'll be happy to provide this information also over to you, just so that we can make sure that this isn't something that's reoccurring. What I'm grateful for is that you mentioned that by Monday, I think, we'll be getting the reimbursement from the state. Monday, okay. It's with, yeah. So, but I think that right now where we're at, I think that what we need to be doing is just making sure that we're on top of that, because we only said, and when I did the budget and I presented that to the court, that the court has approved, we only said approximately 3 months of payroll for this as a reimbursable matter to continue moving forward. So I don't want that to be continuing to interfere with where we're at and what we can do to make sure that that's the case. Now, I'm not certifying anything on that grant until I know that we've already gotten clearance, and that I told you that I would be speaking directly with you before certifying anything on OLS, because I don't want there to be an effect on mainly payroll. That our employees are the most important, and I don't want to be seeing that being a caused ripple effect every time that we're dealing with this.
And I'll be involved in the next drawdown, which I did state we're going to try and do it monthly. what I've heard from the previous items was the delay was in the timesheets and the connectivity reports.
Okay.
They were not mentioned. So when you get two conflicting numbers from two items, two documents that should match, then the state requested an affidavit.
Okay.
So which one is inaccurate? So of course that caused part of the delay.
Correct.
So by the time we get these documents, the payments have already been done, we're just gonna work on the reimbursements and we're assuming that everything was correct.
So my only concern is that you see that all of this is being submitted directly to Maria,
Now it is.
but that's been the case based off of the emails. Okay, so when I look at the emails and I'm reviewing everything specifically because I specifically had a one-on-one with Ms. Reina from the county attorney's office to see where's this faulting, just like I had that discussion, of course, with you as well. And I think that we just need to make sure that this is an issue that we are going to resolve, because if I see this again coming before the court again, we're going to be running into some issues that we're obviously going to cause problems.
I can't respond for the previous one, but as I stated,
Moving forward,
I will be directly.
that's all I wanted to hear. Alrighty, perfect. Thank you, Ms. Barrientos. And I appreciate the work that you all do, because I know that it's not easy, but I just know that, the only way that for us to move forward is that if communication lines are not open there on that issue, we're gonna have issues repeatedly. So I don't want that to happen. Are there any questions?
Yes, Judge.
Yes,
I just have a question. I don't see the budget amendment on the machinery.
Monday.
Okay.
Alright, is there further discussion on any item?
No.
Very well. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Reese. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Do you have another item?
Not right now, I can come back. I just need to do
Okay, that'll work. Very well. Thank you, Mr. Valles. Moving forward on the remainder of the items, item number 28, discussion and appropriate action to execute a contract with the Texas Department of Agriculture and the County of Maverick grant Texas CDBG CFC 240100.
Judge, Commissioners, this is to execute the contract of the grant we just spoke about, the Vanessa Street projects, the Texas Department of Agriculture CDBG project. It's just so we can go ahead and execute that contract and submit it to the state.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rios. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Ramos. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 30, you also have, correct, Isaac? Or is that?
There's a couple more.
Okay.
Judge.
Item number 30, discussion and appropriate action to execute a contract, Texas Department of Agriculture and the County of Maverick, Texas CDBG number CFC 23-0422. Is that Mr. Diaz? Raul? Yes.
Judge, Commissioners, thank you very much. Just like Mr. Ruiz had mentioned before, on this project's on the Gamal project. It is to formally accept the contract from TDA for the amount of $377,000. Yeah. And that one we do have the bids due for the construction on Monday.
Okay. Okay.
Now I know that we spoke, and I know Michelle and us had spoken yesterday at yesterday's board meeting regarding some of the issues. I know, Commissioner, you had mentioned as far as the issue, the process for those bids, and if everything was moving forward with that.
Yes.
She has made it clear that, of course, that they're facilitating directly with anyone who is wishing to obtain that information in order to make sure that their bid is submitted on time.
And I'll call you tomorrow so we can discuss that. But yes, so moved, Judge.
Okay.
Very
Motion has been
excited
made.
to move forward.
Very well. Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second has been made by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Did you have any other items?
No.
No? You're excused, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Moving forward to item number 29, discussion and appropriate action to approve the resolution agreement and indigent defense plan for the SDO operating and alternative public defense program for Maverick County OLS cases. I just need to make a modification on that. The item should read LPDO, which is the Lubbock Public Defender's Office. On that issue, if the court can make an amendment to make sure and write Lubbock Public Defender's Office operating an alternative public defense program. Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item is so modified. Is there a motion to proceed with the
So
resolution? Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos,
Second.
second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 31, discussion and appropriate action to allow Judge English Cantu to sign contract with Texas Attorney General for Savin's grant program and says Logic.gov.inc. Recently, the state went through a modification for this purpose of the changing of the government software for the victims Savin's grant that the county, of course, receives. Is there a motion just to make that modification so that they can change in software?
So moved.
It's not at any additional cost to us. Motion has been made by Commissioner Rios. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Ramos. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 32, discussion and appropriate action to approve a resolution to designate and authorize the county judge and county auditor as the primary signatories for the request for payment forms for self-help contract number CSH 24-0166 and authorize the signatories to sign form A202, authorized signatories designation form. Mr. Stevenson?
Good afternoon,
Yes,
Judge.
how are you?
So I'm doing great.
Great.
Thanks for allowing me to come before you this afternoon. Just a bit of housekeeping for you. It's a resolution that, just as the judge read, will appoint the county judge and the county auditor as the primary signatories for draw requests so the county can get reimbursed for any expenses associated with the Self-Help Center program.
Perfect.
So moved, Judge.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you so much, Mr. Stevenson. You don't have anything else, right?
That's it.
You're excused, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving forward to item number 33, discussion and appropriate action to approve a resolution authorizing the submission of the grant application to the Texas Department of Emergency Management, TDEM, for a Maverick County emergency generator project for the Maverick County water treatment plant. Mr. Isaac?
Judge, Commissioners, this is a grant that we're applying for with TDEM, Texas Department of Emergency Management. It is for a purchase and install of a generator, emergency generator for the Maverick County water treatment plant. The grant application is total is $99,378 with 5 cents, and that again, it's no cost to Maverick County. It's will be grant funded.
Is there a motion?
So moved,
Motion has
Judge.
been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second's been made by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
We're excited.
Excited.
It's
Hey, there's-
requested
by the state.
By the state that
So-
we do this project.
So
By
item
TCQ.
Item number 34, discussion and appropriate action to approve a resolution to submit a grant application to the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority for fiscal year 2026 Auto Theft Task Force Grant Program. Mr. Reese?
This is an approval resolution to submit for the fiscal year 2026 auto theft grant. We work with the sheriff's office. We applied last year. We were funded last year. So after getting with the sheriff's office, they want to continue this program, the auto theft program. So the total grant amount would be $291,216 with a match of $48,537. That's what it is currently as we're submitting the resolution. But Judge, Commissioners, you guys know we are going to come back and have a negotiation period. So these might not be the final numbers, but this is what we submitted the application.
So this would be set for the time frame of when? This would initiate for the next fiscal?
Yes, because we're currently in fiscal year 25.
Okay.
They kind of got ahead of us.
And I know that right now we're obviously still just making some budget adjustments for the issue on the one for this fiscal, correct?
Correct. The budget adjustments that we're still discussing is for this fiscal current year.
Okay.
But we needed to submit the application to continue the funding.
For the next month? Okay.
Yes, correct.
All right. I know that we'll need to visit with auditors on that issue in order to make sure that we're moving forward on that matter. But there is a budget concern for the one for this fiscal that we need to work out.
Correct.
So for that purpose, I think that it's obviously an important grant that we need to finalize on the current fiscal year and the one for the one to move forward. So with that being said, is there a motion to proceed with the resolution?
Proceed.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Reese. Is there a second? Second has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 35, discussion and appropriate action to approve a resolution authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Texas Department of Emergency Management, TDEM, for the Maverick County Emergency Access Vehicular Bridge Repair grant.
This is the second application that we're submitting. I didn't mention the response. This is after Hurricane Beryl. There was some grant funding because of the damages, and we were under that
Emergency
announcement.
declaration.
Correct. Thank you, Judge. So we applied also for an emergency access bridge. This is located on 3220 El Indio Highway. It's a bridge that reaches about 10 families that don't have that bridge to access their property. So they have to find alternative ways to get into their properties.
Now, this will be specifically just one bridge that we're looking at, or are we looking at two that are within that area for that purpose? I just couldn't remember if there was one or two.
It was one bridge.
One, okay,
It
very
would
well.
be one
And
bridge.
that is one bridge that is listed on our emergency management plan. That's listed as the emergency exit
That
for
is
that
correct,
area.
Judge.
That's
That would be
Jardines Verdes
Jardines
back there,
Verdes,
¿verdad? All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Judge.
All
And the total 697,000 and 728.
Okay.
There is a match. I misspoke on the first one. There's a 25% match for both.
Also for this one?
Yes,
Very well.
And you said the total was, Isaac?
697,728.
Okay. With a 25%
Correct.
match.
Further questions? Is there a
No.
motion?
So,
Motion has been made by Commissioner Rios.
Bart, did you want to say something?
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Ramos. Discussion?
Okay,
Yes, Commissioner.
discussion.
Sorry.
Okay.
Move along.
Very well. There is no further discussion on the item.
I
will
guess
go ahead.
I do want to say thank you for that because I know that we've been trying to work something out with that bridge, so thank you for working that.
No problem, Commissioner. That was actually generated by the planning department. We were told by our director, Mr. Villaseñor, that we needed to apply for that grant. So we just, followed our directive and applied for that grant. Hopefully we receive funding.
Awesome, thank you.
Very well. Moving forward, there's no further discussion. We'll go ahead and move forward with the item. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Moving forward to item number 36, discussion and appropriate action to LGS for the LGS addendum for 5 for the county attorney's office. Is there specifics on this item? Anything specific? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 37, discussion and appropriate action to approve and recognize revenue in the amount of $50,993.92 for the EPISD 2024 election contribution. Is there a motion to that effect?
So move, Judge.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Reese. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 38, discussion and appropriate action to recognize revenue in the amount of $975 for the Mother's Day event on May 8th, 2025 at Precinct 4. Believe that there's a modification, Commissioner, that you're requesting for that to reflect $3,325. Is that correct?
Awesome.
Yeah, I think we need to make an amendment here.
Yes. Is that the amendment that you're
Yes,
making?
sir.
So the amended amount would be $3,325. Is that correct?
Yes,
That's the
sir.
amount. Very well. If there's is that your motion, sir?
Yes, that's
Okay.
right.
Motion has been made to amend the item to incorporate the total amount of $3,325. It has been a motion has been made by Commissioner Reese, seconded by Commissioner Ramos. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item. Is there action on the item? Is there a motion? Commissioner?
Yes.
Commissioner has made the motion to approve the recognition of the revenue. Is there a second?
Second.
Second has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 39, discussion and appropriate action to approve the transfer of jury outstanding checks to general fund. That information has been provided to the court. Is there any questions?
No question.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Reese, seconded by Commissioner Ramos. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 40, discussion and appropriate action to allow Judge English Cantu to sign an engagement letter agreement with Crow. I know that these next 3 items were submitted by the auditor's office, so I don't know if there's specifics that we need to know anything about, because I think there have been some concerns on that.
Yes, I'll start with Crow. Basically, it's something that got approved through emergency.
Mhm.
So we just need the court to approve your And I believe some of them might have already been signed, but we just needed to notify the court that these contracts need to be signed. It was a cyber incident that happened, and so we needed to move on these contracts immediately.
So it's a ratification basically of the emergency
I
order.
wasn't sure which ones were signed though. That's why at the time I
Okay.
just worded it like that.
Very well.
Who's Chrome?
Okay, Crow is the data mining company. They go and they figure it's like a forensic for how this happened or why it happened. So they analyze all those things. And the other one, well, I guess yeah, but this one is a data mining collective. They collect.
It's just on the IT information that with the
anything that
occurrences
might
with
have
the
been
emails.
compromised. They'll let us know what it was.
I thought it was Russell Crowe.
No.
So moved, Judge.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 41, discussion and appropriate action to allow Judge English Santu to sign the engagement letter agreement with Intergon Cyber Incident Response Services. Same issue on this matter?
Yes, this company will review the compromised data.
Very well.
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Ruiz. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 42, discussion and appropriate action to approve, sign the proposal for the antivirus software and Weaver Rights IT Solutions.
Judge, if I may,
Yes.
I need to make a change here. The company's called Weaver Technology LLC.
Make a modification. Is there a motion to reflect Weaver Technology LLC? Motion to modify the name on the item
Second.
has been made by Commissioner Ramos, second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Ms. Wiedemann, did you get that? Yes? Very well. With that being said, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos, second by Commissioner
Yes.
Reese. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you, Ms. Barrientos. Moving forward to item number 43, discussion and appropriate action to sign a resolution supporting HB 4645, aims to reorganize the judicial district in Maverick, Dimmitt, and Zavala counties, where Representative Morales intends to file a substitute to adjust the bill language so that the new districts take effect after the 293rd judicial district term expires. Just for clarification on this item, we have had a discussion with the representative's office and with Representative Morales. There's a clarification on the bill language that states that this, of course, would not take effect until the 293rd's issue. I've also had a conversation with the senator. The senator personally called to check the matter with this issue, and the same issue has also been reflected on the Senate side. Okay?
We're still
For sure.
time for that?
For sure.
I'm sorry?
There's still time for all of that?
They've made modifications to that. They just need to submit the resolution from the court. So,
But that's a for sure.
yes.
Okay.
Further discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved. Judge.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Rios, second by Commissioner Reese. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 44. A discussion and appropriate action to transfer Gerardo Camarillo from his position as jailer with a pay rate of $17.82 per hour to full-time sheriff deputy at a pay rate of $20.05 for the patrol division at the Maverick County Sheriff's Office. Mr. Garcia?
Yes, you're just getting promoted to that position.
Very well. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second? Second has been made by Commissioner Reese. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous.
Judge, on the next
Yes.
three items, 45, 46, and 47, we'd like to remove them just for that issue.
Yes, the budget amendment.
That's correct.
And I know that we'll be discussing those issues with the auditor because we're finalizing that issue. I hope that the other issue has also been resolved. That was pending. I don't know if that's been discussed and with the auditor's office yet. The other item. But if y'all can meet with on these particular ones.
On number 44, I just needed to know the specifics, how much is going to be SB 22 and how much general.
For item 44,
Yes.
I do not have that information with me, but
Then maybe we need to go back.
I don't have that with me. I can get that.
Is there do we need to clarify that on the record first before we can proceed? Okay.
Two.
So then, based on the percentage basis, but this individual is currently employed. He's currently, I imagine, receiving a percentage of Senate Bill
That's correct.
22 currently. So would this not fall into the same percentage basis or bracket that they're currently in?
Well, for our accounting purposes, when they check the payroll and all those, the auditors do look for the minutes. When did it happen? How did it happen? How is it?
No, I understand that, but I mean, as far as where we're at on that breakdown per employee, SB 22 and general fund, it's a standard that we're looking at for the percentage basis.
I'm not.
He doesn't know.
Okay, if there's a modification that needs to be done on that, Monday we're having a meeting for the purpose of that. So if there's a modification on that one, we can bring that back just for clarification. Okay, all right. The court has taken action on it, but for clarification on the actual matter, if there's additional information that needs to come back on this item, we'll put it tentatively set for the review on it. Okay, all right. Do you have any other items, Mr. Garcia?
No, that's.
No. Okay, you're excused. I will be removing item number 45, 46, and 47. Item number 48, discussion and appropriate action to approve a credit card issued by Falcon Bank with a limit of $5,000 to be provided to the auditor's office to be used for countywide expenditures. Is there a motion to that effect? And the reasoning for this, I imagine, is the change of name that ultimately to correct? Very well. Is there a motion? Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Ruiz. Discussion?
Yes. Who has access to the card?
Maybe these cards are being used to pay for software that is used by the county. For example, software from the 293rd Court, software that we need for our servers at IT. So basically, the majority of those expenses are for those subscriptions. Right? That's the only thing we pay out there. It's not like somebody uses a card for travel or anything. They're basically just for those subscriptions.
So it should say that in here because the way I see it, that anybody can tap into this card. So can we?
We should, if you want to.
I would. I mean, if you wanted to put a little bit more restriction on it, I mean, you can. My only concern is that there could be an emergency that could pop up that would not allow that use of that card. That's my only issue. You never know. I mean, something can pop up. Nobody has a credit card in the county except the auditor's office. So,
And it is monitored.
Wait a second. So
usually when somebody asks because they didn't submit their travel on time or things like that, if we have a credit card, we don't allow it use because it's restricted use and it's a limited amount. So if we start doing that, then we'll, if we need it for the court or for our, and it's not our department, it's countywide items. So we don't want to.
So like examples outside of like subscriptions for the 293rd, which I know that was probably the main reason because in the past, Judge Flores was getting reimbursed for that issue.
I know Mondo was paying like $500 for the email. Is the email the backup servers and the email that we for all our information.
It sounds very exclusive. And I don't like that. Why should it be just for certain departments? Why can't it be used for the employee who's out of town? I don't know how they do it in the city. I certainly would like to know how they do it in school district. Access to a card.
Well, I think that the issue is that we were going to be looking, once we have the modification of the software system, my intention has always been that we transfer over into like the P card system, which is the purchase card, which has extreme restriction. You have to you still go through a PO process. You still get your card open for a certain amount whenever it's needed. But we do need to move our purchasing system into the 2000s already.
Yes.
This thing about submitting everything in paper it's too much. But I know that the discussions that we've had in the transitions of the software system, it should be able to handle that matter.
Yes, sir. At this time, these companies do not work on PO process. And so somebody's having to pay, and it seemed unfair to have our employees paying for these items that serve the county as a whole. That is the reason why we went through this round.
No, and the concern, of course, comes down to the fact where I share the same sentiment with the commissioner,
Right.
because every elected official has to go through that. Every department head has to go through that, where they're having to purchase and then get reimbursed.
Right.
And that's just the matter of the fact that you can purchase, but yet we could keep better control of that if we had the system in place, because if they needed a card, they could have gone through a purchase order the same way, and it would have been readily available. The reason why people have to get reimbursed is they have to wait for a commissioner's court to approve accounts payable and to approve warrant spending.
It's just that I remember one time that some years ago that we had road and bridge department that was going to San Antonio, and I don't know if it was a tire.
Was a blow up?
It was a tire.
Yes, and nobody had a card. Or and if one of the person had a car, wait a minute, I have a limit on my car, and I'm already hitting my limit. So how are we gonna get a replacement if the replacement is $180 and nobody has $180?
And I think that
An emergency like that.
But in that case, there should be some discretion, because if you recall, one commissioner had an issue with the card being assigned to me, because the previous judge had the card assigned to me, which I don't want the card. I'm perfectly fine with it being at the auditor's office, but it was for emergency purposes.
Right.
So in that case, that's why I didn't want to kind of restrict this card, because in a situation where it's in dire need of an issue of an emergency that's being declared, an emergency through the process of going through the county judge's office and submitting the messaging and the request for the emergency PO, then that in turn, I imagine, could be utilized in a situation like that. Could it not?
We would, in that case, I know Mr. Luis was able to talk to the vendor and explain how the county works, and he agreed to accept the PO and fix the item. And so he fixed the tire, gave the invoice to the employee, and we went ahead and approved it and paid for it. So,
but in a situation where
if it's in the middle of the night and that's the only place, and we're not at our office, that could happen.
So
Sad.
Well, no, but the issue is, like I said, the software system I think will take us to that direction.
Yes.
But for right now, I have absolutely no concern with it being at the auditor's office.
But Judge,
I can work on reimbursements if ever I need them.
But we want to leave it like this, where it's county-wide, because if you limit it, if you start putting in only software. So I like the way it is. And the fact is we've had this before. We're just bringing it back because we changed banks. Is that correct?
No, we changed auditors.
We changed auditor.
The auditor's thing.
Yes.
Okay. So
my name is on that card.
okay. So now you're on that. So we've had it. We're just changing the name of the card.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it.
So if it's an emergency at 3 a.m, just call Ms. Valdez. All right, motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand.
Oh, yes.
Motion is that there are 3 in favor, 1 in opposition, being Commissioner Reese. Moving forward, item number 49, discussion and appropriate action to sign a resolution supporting the adoption and implementation. I believe this item has already been taken. We just needed the formal signature for adoption. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second has been made by Commissioner Rios. Discussion.
Just a question. This is gonna
is county.
pertain only to hotels.
Yes. Correct. Hotel motel tax.
In the city and the county.
City and county.
And we're modifying it. Previously, we had approved it for airport. Is that still? Was that left on the resolution? I don't have a copy of the resolution.
That was specific on the resolution for that purpose. Of course, if the court wishes to leave it
What
as
did you
is.
say?
For the airport. When we initiated this a couple of years ago.
For the airport.
Yes.
Is there clarification that's needed by legal? Because I know that this resolution did have specifics on there for that with the matter for the request and the bill language that was initially set by the past administration for this to be set for airport use. which allows for it. The only concern, of course, came that there was a concern for whether it's going to be left for any and all of the subjects or areas that are allowed by
yes,
state law
Yes, yes.
for that purpose.
Oh, yes. Got it. I remember all this.
Are you good for using it there?
Okay.
Very well. We good?
Just make sure.
Point of clarification only, sir.
Point of clarification. Very well. Is there a motion?
Someone,
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos, second by Commissioner Reese. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 50, discussion.
51, I'm sorry.
Yes.
50, 51 have already been addressed, and the auditors already took care of item 52, so I'm withdrawing those three.
Items 50, 51, 52 have been withdrawn by the Commissioner. Very well. 53. Discussion and appropriate action to authorize the demolition and removal of debris from property located at 1315 Agarita Drive, which has been deemed hazardous and uninhabitable due to fire loss. The property owner has been able to address the unsafe conditions of the structure, and the property poses a significant public health and safety risk to the surrounding community. Commissioner?
Yes, that's my motion.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, did you have any questions?
Just the wording in the second line. Hazardous and uninhabitable.
It's not.
UN is inhabitable. It speaks by itself. That nobody lives there. It's a technical. Teacher and me comes around if that's such a word. But that's okay.
Or
I
does it have to
understand.
say
Inhabitable.
predominantly?
It's linguistics.
Uninhabitable.
Linguistics. Did we understand what we're?
Let's put it right. No, let's put it right.
Predominant public purpose.
Uninhabitable.
Some of
The motion has been made by Commissioner
All
Ramos.
right.
There's a second.
Put it in there.
That also that's currently stands, correct? We do have a motion in a second. Yeah, we have a motion in a second. Is there any further
I'll
discussion?
vote for it though.
All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous.
I can.
Uninhabitable. Item number 54. Discussion and appropriate action to authorize the demolition and removal of debris from property located at 3882 Iris Street, which has been deemed hazardous and inhabitable.
Okay.
The property owner has been
There we
unable
go.
to
Now we're
address
talking.
the unsafe conditions of the structure, and the property poses a significant public health and safety risk to the surrounding community.
Some
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Reese. Discussion. Ay, dear Lord. Further discussion? Not. Is there a motion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Moving forward to item number 55, discussion and appropriate action to approve invoice number 92995 from San Antonio Code Blue, number 2 for $562.50. Commissioner?
Yes, that one, Judge, is for Constable Precinct 3C in Quemado, Abraham Martinez, and you have a copy of the invoice, and through the auditors with Maria, he didn't have a budget on a specific item. He already submitted a budget amendment to find money so he could pay for those
Very well.
patches. That's my motion, Judge.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't wanna forget, when we get to accounts payable, we can add this item so we can go ahead and pay.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Maria. It's not on there. I thought I saw it on there. It's not. Okay, thank you for catching that.
Item number 56 has been taken. Did we take a vote? All those? Yeah, we did. We'll take a vote once again. All those in favor, please raise your right hand.
For what?
Unanimous for item number 55. Just for the clarification, I just want, that's why we took another vote for you, Miss Holguin.
no forgetting.
Se le pelea
Very well. All right. Just then, for the purposes of the accounts payable and warrants pending, I'll go ahead and just call those on already. If we can just take that so that way we don't miss this item that needs to be added on to accounts payable. Accounts payable has been provided for your review. If you do, we would just ask that the court also amend the accounts payable to incorporate invoice number 92995 from San Antonio Code Blue, number 2 for $562.50. Is that correct? Is there a motion to approve the accounts payable with the addition that's just been made?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 59, warrant spending.
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Reese. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. All right, executive session. Is there any items that need to be removed?
I need to remove 2 and 3.
Okay. Items of 2 and 3 have been removed from executive session. Therefore, we will only take into executive session item number 57-1. Executive session on matters pursuant to section 551.071, discussion with attorney, discussion and appropriate action to identify and or revise the jurisdictional boundaries between Maverick County and the Gay Traditional Tribe of Texas reservation land. Item number 4, executive session on matters pursuant to section 551.071, discussion with attorney, discussion and appropriate action on the continued negotiations and terms discussed with City of Eagle Pass administration regarding fire and U.S. Agreements. Let the record reflect that we'll move into executive session at 4:34 on Thursday, May 1st. We'll reconvene. Commissioners Court will now reconvene from executive session. It is Thursday, May 1st, 2025, and it's 5 o'clock. Commissioners Court, votes were present did take on items, executive session, item number 1 and 4. 1 and 4. Ms. Olvini. Thank you for keeping us in check, ¿verdad? All right, we'll go ahead and take 1 and 4 into motion. Item number 1 at this time, Commissioner, is there anything specific outside of the discussion that's been held with the planning department? There's a pending meeting, I think.
Yes, pending meeting, and I'm looking forward to find, some type of positive resolution.
Okay,
Yes.
very well.
Mm-hmm.
No action is required at this time on this item. Item number 4, I'll just ask for the authorization to move forward with submitting the addendum to the first contract of the negotiations for signatures, for the authorization of those signatures to be placed on that addendum. And then for us to go ahead and revisit new numbers for the next available meeting.
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second has been made by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you all.